Joanna Duggar today divorced Austin Forsyth, her old GF marriage. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. For Duggar family latest news update, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. The Duggar family has always been a magnet for attention, with their many children, religious beliefs, and unique lifestyle choices. As stars of the popular TLC show 19 Kids and Counting On, they've been under constant scrutiny. The family's love stories, struggles, and personal decisions have been chronicled for years, often sparking heated debates among fans and critics alike. Among the many Duggar children, Joanna Duggar, the fourth-born, has had her fair share of drama, and it seems the latest twist to her life story is just as shocking as the rest. The fairy tale romance gone wrong. Joanna Duggar's relationship with Austin Forsyth has always seemed like a fairy tale come true. They met at a young age, and after a brief courtship, they tied the knot in May 2017. Joanna was 19 years old at the time, and their wedding seemed to embody the Duggar family's values of early marriage and large families. The couple was blessed with 2 children, Gideon and Evelyn, and their social media posts often portrayed a picture-perfect family. However, behind the scenes, things were far from flawless. From the start, there were whispers about the true dynamics of their marriage. Fans of the Duggar family have always been quick to speculate about any changes in the family, and Joanna's marriage was no exception. The couple's posts started to show signs of strain, and there were subtle hints that their relationship was not as ideal as it appeared on the surface. Joanna and Austin often shared photos and videos showcasing their adventures as a family, from camping trips to outings with their children. But there was a noticeable shift in the tone of their posts after the birth of their second child. Gone were the carefree days of newlywed bliss, replaced by a more subdued, distant presence on social media. The couple, who once seemed inseparable, began to appear in fewer photos together, and the joyful captions became less frequent. The shocking divorce announcement in early 2025, fans were stunned when rumors began to circulate about a possible divorce between Joanna and Austin. At first, these rumors were denied, with both Joanna and Austin posting reassuring messages on social media about their strong marriage. However, as the months passed, it became increasingly apparent that there was trouble in paradise. In a candid Instagram post, Joanna finally confirmed the heartbreaking news: she and Austin were getting a divorce. The announcement was met with shock, not only because of the Duggar family's strong belief in marriage, but also because of the timing. Just months before, they had appeared in public together as a united couple. The divorce revelation was even more shocking considering the family's history of holding on to relationships, regardless of the circumstances. But for Joanna, the cracks in her marriage had become impossible to ignore. Joanna's fans were devastated by the news, and the media quickly seized on the story. Speculations about what led to the breakdown of the marriage ran rampant. Was it infidelity? Financial struggles? Or was there something deeper at play that neither Joanna nor Austin had been willing to share? The old flame, Austin's previous relationship. While the world was reeling from the news of Joanna's divorce, another layer to the drama began to unfold. The Duggar family's protective image started to crumble when it was revealed that Austin Forsyth's old girlfriend, a woman from his past, had come forward with shocking revelations of her own. According to sources, Austin had been involved with this woman before meeting Joanna, and their relationship had ended abruptly. But what made this revelation particularly explosive was the fact that Austin's old girlfriend had been involved in a major scandal of her own, one that was kept hidden from the public for years. Sources revealed that Austin's former girlfriend had once been pregnant with his child, but the pregnancy ended tragically, and the couple went their separate ways. At the time, Austin had been deeply in love with this woman, but his strict religious upbringing, coupled with his family's expectations, made it difficult for him to follow his heart. After the breakup, Austin went on to meet Joanna, and the two quickly formed a connection. However, his past relationship with this woman had always haunted him. As the years went on, Austin and his old girlfriend both moved on, but their past was never fully erased. It was revealed that during Joanna's marriage to Austin, she had unknowingly come into contact with his old flame on multiple occasions. The two women had even been at the same events, but neither Joanna nor Austin had ever openly discussed the previous relationship. With Joanna's divorce now in the open, Austin's former girlfriend resurfaced to share her side of the story. She claimed that Austin had always carried a torch for her, and this had placed a strain on his marriage with Joanna. The emotional baggage from his past relationship may have prevented him from fully committing to his marriage, leading to the eventual breakdown. The emotional fallout for Joanna, the emotional toll of Joanna's divorce was immense. Not only was she grappling with the end of her marriage, but she was also processing the shocking revelation of Austin's past. The Duggar family, who had always been known for their unity and unwavering faith, was now facing the public fallout of a failed marriage. For Joanna, the embarrassment was overwhelming. She had always prided herself on being a role model for her fans, especially those who looked up to her as a symbol of strong family values. In the days following the announcement, Joanna took a brief break from social media. She had been under constant scrutiny throughout her marriage, and now, the eyes of the world were on her as she navigated this difficult chapter. It was a tough decision for Joanna, as she had built her personal brand on sharing her family's journey with fans. But the weight of the divorce, coupled with emotional strain of dealing with Austin's past, was too much to bear. When she finally returned to social media, Joanna shared a heartfelt message with her followers. She expressed gratitude for the support she had received, but also acknowledged the pain she was feeling. She didn't go into specifics about the divorce or the details surrounding Austin's old girlfriend, but her fans could sense the sorrow in her words. It was clear that Joanna had been through a difficult period and was still processing the changes in her life. The Duggar family's reaction, as with any Duggar family drama, the reaction from the rest of the family was swift and overwhelming. The Duggars are a tight-knit group, and family loyalty runs deep. Many of Joanna's siblings, including Jill, Duggar, and Jessa, rallied behind her during this challenging time. They offered public support and reassured their followers that Joanna was doing the best she could under the circumstances. Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar, the family patriarch and matriarch, were notably silent on the matter. The couple, known for their strong conservative beliefs and public image, had always been vocal about the importance of marriage and family. Jim Bob and Michelle's silence sparked questions among fans. Was this a private matter they didn't want to address publicly, or were they disapproving of Joanna's decision to divorce? The Duggar family's response to Joanna's divorce was a delicate one. While they showed public support, it was evident that the family's rigid beliefs were being challenged. The Duggars' emphasis on staying married for life and avoiding divorce meant that Joanna's decision had created tension within the family. Some of the more traditional family members, especially those who adhered strictly to the Duggar faith, struggled to reconcile their beliefs with the reality of Joanna's situation. The future for Joanna and Austin as the divorce proceedings continued, fans began to wonder what the future would hold for both Joanna and Austin. What had started as a seemingly perfect relationship had quickly turned into a public spectacle, and neither of them appeared ready to move on just yet. For Joanna, the road ahead seemed uncertain. She had been thrust into the spotlight at a young age, and her personal life had always been a part of her public narrative. Now, with the end of her marriage and the shocking revelations about Austin's past, she was left to pick up the pieces of her life and try to rebuild. What would her next chapter look like? Would she stay within the Duggar family's strict boundaries, or would she forge her own path? As for Austin, the future seemed even more complicated. With the public backlash surrounding his past relationship and the damage done to his marriage, he had to contend with the consequences of his actions. Would he try to repair his relationship with Joanna, or was their marriage truly over for good? Only time would tell. A new beginning? While the end of Joanna Duggar's marriage is a heartbreaking turn of events, it also marks the beginning of a new chapter for her. The truth has been revealed, and the world now knows the intricacies of her relationship with Austin Forsyth, including his hidden past. But this could be a time of healing for Joanna as she moves forward from her failed marriage, knowing that she has the strength to overcome the challenges that lie ahead. In a world where family dynamics are constantly scrutinized and dissected, Joanna's story is just another chapter in the ongoing saga of the Duggar family. However, it's clear that, like the rest of her family, Joanna will continue to navigate her life on her own terms, even if that means stepping away from the image of the perfect Duggar marriage. The future is uncertain, but for Joanna Duggar, the secret has been revealed. And now, she has the power to write the next chapter of her own story. Officially divorced, Jinger Duggar and Jeremy Voilo's shocking split. Jeremy Voilo arrested by police, Duggar family stunned. In a stunning turn of events, Jinger Duggar and Jeremy Voilo's marriage, once thought to be one of the strongest among the Duggar children, has come to an unexpected and heartbreaking end. The couple, who were married in 2016, have officially announced their divorce after a year of public scrutiny, rumors, and personal turmoil. What began as a fairy tale romance is now mired in controversy and heartbreak, leaving the Duggar family and their loyal fans in complete shock. The news of their split comes just weeks after Jeremy was arrested under suspicious circumstances, raising even more questions about the breakdown of their marriage. The Voilos, who had always projected an image of stability and faith, are now the subject of public whispers and accusations. What led to this dramatic shift in their once idyllic relationship? Was there more behind the scenes than anyone realized? And how does this scandal affect the Duggar family's already tumultuous public image? The perfect match, Jinger and Jeremy's story. Jinger Duggar, the second daughter of Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar, was always seen as one of the more independent and open-minded of the Duggar children. Her courtship with Jeremy Voilo, a former professional soccer player turned pastor, seemed like a perfect match. The couple's public courtship, their engagement, and subsequent wedding were followed closely by fans of the Duggar family. Together, they represented the future of the Duggar legacy, modern, yet deeply rooted in their faith. Jeremy's introduction into the Duggar family was met with some skepticism from the family's critics, as his lifestyle seemed more relaxed compared to the strict standards upheld by Jim Bob and Michelle. However, his commitment to Christianity, his gentle nature, and his strong devotion to Jinger quickly won over the family and their fans. The couple's wedding, which aired on TLC, was a lavish affair, and fans eagerly watched as they settled into their married life. They eventually moved to Laredo, Texas, where Jeremy began working as a pastor at a local church. Jinger, known for her quiet and reserved demeanor, seemed to blossom in her new role as a pastor's wife. They were seen as the poster couple for the Duggar family's values, faithful, loving, and grounded in their faith. The cracks began to show, however, as the years went on. Rumors began circulating that the Voilos' marriage was not as perfect as it seemed. Despite their public appearances, insiders hinted at tension behind closed doors. There were whispers of financial strain, personal conflicts, and disagreements over the direction of their life together. What seemed like a fairy tale quickly turned into a more complicated and challenging reality. Jinger, who had always been outspoken about her faith and values, began to feel torn between her deep-rooted beliefs and the pressures of public life. Jeremy, meanwhile, struggled with his role as both a husband and a pastor in a church that was quickly growing in popularity. The couple's lifestyle, once serene and idyllic, was now filled with stress and pressure. It was during this time that Jeremy began facing personal struggles. The constant spotlight and scrutiny were starting to take a toll on his mental health. Many of his close friends and family noticed a shift in his behavior. He became more withdrawn and distant, often spending hours in prayer or alone in his office, avoiding social gatherings and public events. Jinger, too, began to exhibit signs of frustration and uncertainty. Her once cheerful demeanor seemed clouded by a deep internal conflict. Though she maintained a brave face for the cameras, it was clear that the couple was struggling. The police arrest, a shocking turn of events. The tipping point came when Jeremy Voilo was arrested by local police on charges of a serious nature that shocked the entire Duggar family and their followers. The news broke out during a typically quiet week in the Duggar world, sending shockwaves through the community. Reports indicated that Jeremy was detained following an altercation at a local church event where he was reportedly involved in an emotional outburst that escalated into a confrontation. Details surrounding the arrest were sparse at first, but the Duggar family quickly released a statement, confirming that Jeremy was indeed taken into custody, but was later released on bond. The nature of the altercation was not immediately clear, but the incident was enough to raise serious questions about his behavior and mental state. The Duggar family, who had always been adamantly protective of their public image, scrambled to address the situation. Fans and media outlets were quick to speculate about the impact of the arrest on Duggar and Jeremy's marriage. Was this the result of years of mounting pressure, or was there something more sinister at play? Duggar, who had always been seen as the calm and composed one in the family, was reportedly devastated by the events, finding herself caught in the middle of a public scandal that she had no control over. The arrest not only exposed the vulnerabilities in their relationship, but also set the stage for their eventual divorce. It was clear that the Vualos' marriage could not withstand the pressure of public scrutiny and the personal struggles that had been brewing behind closed doors. Divorce announcement. A heartbreaking end in an official statement. Duggar and Jeremy confirmed their decision to divorce after months of private counseling and attempts to salvage their relationship. The statement, though respectful and amicable, was filled with sadness and regret. Both Duggar and Jeremy spoke about the difficulties they faced and expressed their love and care for each other, despite the separation. "It is with a heavy heart that we announce the end of our marriage," Duggar wrote in the statement. "We have always tried to uphold the values we hold dear, but sometimes, despite our best efforts, life takes us in different directions. Jeremy and I will continue to co-parent our children and remain supportive of each other, but our relationship has reached a point where we can no longer continue as a married couple." Jeremy echoed these sentiments, saying, "I love Duggar and always will, but the challenges we face together have become too much for us to overcome. We are parting ways with respect and understanding, and I will always cherish the time we had." The divorce announcement sent shockwaves throughout the Duggar family. Jim, Bob, and Michelle, known for their unwavering support of their children, were reportedly devastated by the news. Their family, which had always been the picture of unity and faith, was now faced with the very real implications of a public divorce. The Duggar family's reputation, built on the foundation of traditional values and religious principles, was now at the center of a media firestorm. For Duggar siblings, the news was equally painful. Jessa Duggar, who had always been particularly close to Duggar, struggled with her emotions following the split. The two had shared many moments of bonding throughout their lives, and Jessa was heartbroken to see her sister go through such a difficult time. Other siblings, including Jill and Joanna, expressed their shock and sadness over the situation, though they made it clear that they would support Duggar no matter what. The Duggar family's followers, too, were left reeling from the announcement. Fans who had once admired the Vualos for their commitment to each other and their faith were now left with more questions than answers. What went wrong? Could the Vualos have done more to save their marriage? And where did the Duggar family go from here? The aftermath. A family in crisis in the weeks following the divorce announcement. Both Duggar and Jeremy took time off from the public eye to focus on their personal healing. While Jeremy began attending therapy sessions to address his mental health issues, Duggar sought solace in her family and friends. The couple's children, who were too young to fully understand the complexities of their parents' separation, were shielded from the media circus that surrounded their lives. The Duggar family, once a tightly knit unit that prided itself on its unity and public persona, now found itself at the center of a crisis. The scandal had far-reaching consequences for the family's public image, with many questioning their ability to maintain the facade of the perfect Christian family. For Duggar and Jeremy, the road ahead would be filled with challenges, both personal and professional, as they worked to rebuild their lives apart from each other. Despite the pain and the turmoil, there was one thing that remained clear. The love that Duggar and Jeremy had once shared was not easily erased. Though their marriage had ended, their connection to each other and to the Duggar family would continue, forever changed by the shocking events that had unfolded.